Hey Pilar, thanks so much for joining us here in the Nucleus Hub.
It's very nice to be here. Thank you for the invitation, Greg.
So we're here at the Global Entertainment and Sports Law and Industry Conference at the University of Miami. You're currently Executive Vice President and General Counsel at Televisa Univision. And so when you were sitting in law school, did you ever think that this is a possible job / career path that you would ever go down?
I don't think I knew what a general counsel was. I don't think I thought I would end up in the entertainment business either. But I knew that I wanted to have fun in my career and not think of it as a job and always be learning. So why not?
And so, as we talk about with our students all the time, there's no such thing as entertainment law, right? You're practicing law in an industry, and it's made up of all these really substantive areas of the law, whether that's antitrust or First Amendment or copyright or trademark. So talk a little bit about the range of things that are on your desk in a given day.
Well, it is interesting because you're absolutely right. It's a business, and the business is in an industry that is undergoing an incredible transformation. And so you do see consolidation. You see some consolidation that's working and some that's not. Consolidation of an industry that may be perceived to be too powerful in some pockets than in other pockets. You bump into antitrust. Even as an observer in the industry, even if you're not, in the middle of any particular transaction, you need a lot of capital to be in this business. So there's capital raising. We have private equity. That's a whole nother world. We have strategic, but we're accessing the capital markets and always monitoring the market. So you need the capabilities and the skill set to do that. And my role, I have to manage a board, corporate governance, Delaware law, international law, if you have multiple jurisdictions to contend with, comparative law. There are times when you need to work with law enforcement. And then, yes, there is the day-to-day enablement of the business, which goes to the substantive skill set at a commercial and strategic level in terms of the entertainment deals that we do, the content deals, the talent deals. But we also do news, and we do a ton of sports. So pretty much there's not a day that you go by in your life without one of those three things interacting with you.
And you manage a big team. I mean, you have a team of lawyers, I think here and Mexico City, if I'm not mistaken. What's your approach to managing such a big team, who's responsible for so much across the company?
Well, there is obviously a management responsibility, but I don't think of it as management as much as I think of it as leadership. And so my job is to find and cultivate leaders who end up truly doing the leading, but also, allow me to focus on things other than the day-to-day management, and also allow me to sleep at night, because I know that they're not just getting the things done, but they're thinking about things more strategically from a leadership perspective. So the very first thing I did when I came in was assess the leadership team. That was sort of mission number one. And there were a lot of changes. Some folks were already here and they changed roles. There were some folks who weren't here, who were new to the company or new to the industry. There were some entirely new roles we created in light of the evolution of the business. We were launching a streaming platform, the first one and the largest that's Spanish exclusive. And there were roles when you're trying to build a data business that you need to have, both on the business side and the legal side. So it doesn't feel so daunting to manage a large group when, it's like any kind of challenge. You break it up into its component parts and then it's eminently digestible.
And I love that because I had asked a similar question to another general counsel at a major entertainment company, and what he told me was, it's about the people. He said you have to have really good people that you can trust and let them do their jobs.
And let them do their jobs. And it's really fun to see them shine. And it's fun to learn from them. One of the things that is very accurate about the, title of general counsel or chief legal officer is you are the ultimate generalist, even if you started as a specialist in any given area. You know enough to be dangerous in a lot of areas, but you have to know what you don't know and know who to go to internally and externally. And it's really fun. I've learned a ton from my team. I had never sort of been involved with a news organization. And that's all real time, 24/7.
Yep.
You know, when I leave, they're there. When I come in, they're there. And they have all kinds of crises that merit often legal advice. And so that's really been fun to learn.
And you know, you've created internships for our students, and you're on our advisory board, and we're just incredibly thankful. But you also did a really meaningful panel for us earlier this year. We call it our Powerhouse Women in Entertainment, Arts, and Sports. And you're such an inspiration to so many of our students and the next generation of lawyers in an industry that I think has far less representation than we would hope, particularly gender equity. And so can you talk a little bit about where you think that the industry needs to go in that regard, and how do we help get there? And you know, you continuing to do things like you did. I can't tell you how many students came to me after just so inspired by the messaging and the role model that you provided to them, and show that there was a pathway forward. You know,
I'm still struck when people say that, because I still think of myself as, you know, somebody that was in their shoes, and that just kind of sometimes makes me feel old. But it's
Accomplished.
It's heartwarming. Oh, I like that. Much better. Accomplished. It makes me feel profoundly accomplished. We've come a long way, not just in this industry, but my observation in this industry is there's more work to do. How do you change it? You have to create opportunities for people like me, who create opportunities for other people like me. And when I mean like me, I don't mean literally like me. You know what I mean? And it's it has a ripple effect, and it becomes much more organic, because the idea is that it not be contrived. The idea is that you're hiring, you're looking for top talent. You're giving everyone the opportunity to vie for a given position or a given opportunity. And I do believe that the more diverse of a team that you have in place, however, I mean, my team is very broadly defined, diverse. You're a function of your network. And my network is going to look different from your network. It's going to look different from somebody else's network who had a different experience than me. And that's very rich. And that is what yields kind of a multiplier effect in terms of attracting people who are hungry, who want that kind of opportunity, and who are going to be a little different than the conventional power and traditional power paradigm, which, you know, honestly is men or white men.
Yeah. And we're doing a panel later on, we're calling it the business of equity around women's sports. And you know, this is becoming a lot more conversations are centering around making the business case for equity, and the numbers are there. We just saw, you know, Monday night, the NCAA women's, there was 12.2 million ratings for the 2 games, better rated than the NBA Finals, MLB World Series. I mean, it's awesome.
It's so awesome.
Well, I just want to thank you for being, you know, you arrived here. Your former law colleague at Simpson Thacher, Miles Pistorius, introduced us and said, Pilar is one of the best attorneys I have ever been around. She's moving to Miami. We have to get her involved in the program. And you were willing to take the leap with us.
I jumped in enthusiastically because if it came from Miles, I knew I had to trust it. He's a dear former colleague, but also a great friend. So.
And you know, we're only getting started with, I think, what we can do and what we can build, and we love, you know, creating these spaces and for the community to come together and engage and interact and learn and push each other. So thank you so much for being a part of it, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Me neither. I'm excited to build together.
Love it. Thank you.
Thank you.